All right, taking the key with you?
Yep. You're about to do your initial walk around. Turn your hazard on. Take the key with you. 3-point of contact and exit.
Can you do it in 15 minutes?
Ha! Tires still be holding there. Check that in the cruise. My hazard light is working. My truck is in line with my trailer. Nothing's leaking. Nothing's hanging. Check that in the cruise strip. Both tires seem to be holding there. Check that in the cruise strip. Both tires seem to be holding there. Check that in the cruise strip. My landing gear. Oh, I think I started the wrong way.
No, you're good.
Did I? Oh, maybe it's because the way they got the truck.
Oh, yeah,
that from the other side.
No, you did it from the other side.
That from the other side.
Yeah, you did it from the other side.
I think I started.
No, you're fine. You're
Okay,
fine.
no, you're fine.
I stressed them out. I said, can you do it in 15 minutes? Because I was doing an hour in 15 minutes.
Alright. Landing gears all the way up. Handle secure. No debris under it. Both tires seem to be holding there. Check where the cruise. Both tires seem to be holding there. Check where the cruise. My trailer is in line with my truck. It's not leaning to the left or to the right. Hazard are working. Nothing leaking, nothing hanging. Both tires seem to be holding there. Check that in the pre-trip. Both tires seem to be holding there. Check that in the pre-trip. Landing gears all the way up. No debris under it. My locking jar is around my kingpin. And there's no daylight between the fifth wheel and the trailer. My hazard lights are working. Both tires seem to be holding there. Check that in the pre-trip. My fifth wheel handle is secure. Both tires seem to be holding there. Check that in the pre-trip. My electrical connection is secure. It's not cracked or phrase. And my air hoses are not cracked or leaking. This concludes my initial walk around. I will not perform my brake test. Do your little 3-point of contact.
Yeah, no, sir. Fuck.
Yeah. I kind of want to do it too.
So you start up the truck to build up your air pressure. Go and build your air pressure up to 120 psi. Okay. And now I'm going to check my trailer's brake. I'm going to check my trailer's brake, so I'm putting down my truck maxi. Check the trailer. This is called the tug test. Lowest forward gear. Lift your foot slowly off the clutch. You're gonna feel the tug. Alright. My trailer brakes are working properly. Now I'm gonna check my truck brakes. Pull my truck maxi. Push down my trailer maxi. Lift my foot slowly. Feel the tug. My truck brakes are working properly. Now I'm going to check the service brake. Push both of them down. 5 miles per hour to the front. The service brake is working properly. Now I'm going to chuck the wheel to continue with my brake test. I'm already in the lowest force gear. Turn my key off. Take the key with me. 3-point of contact. We exit. Chuck the wheel.
Oh, yeah, it'll leave. You gotta leave it, so let it roll.
Yeah, let it roll. Alright. 3-point of contact, we come back in. We turn the key on. Check engine light, coolant. Check engine light. Engine oil and coolant came on and went off. And then now, put that vehicle neutral. Push down both of our maxi, let it roll against the truck.
You gotta build pressure back to 120, right?
Now look. You see how the pressure is already gone? So then I would ask the inspector, do you want me to build air pressure back to 120? He said yes.
No, you don't gotta pull those now. Because it's rolled against the chocks, right?
Yeah, but because you always gotta put this thing on.
You're on chocks.
Now you in neutral. We're gonna build the pressure back up. The pressure dropped too low.
I can't. Putting freaking truck.
Now we're building pressure back up to 120 psi. But that's only if the pressure drop below that.
It is gonna drop, though.
Yeah. No, because this thing is leaking. That's why.
Yeah.
All right.
So now that our pressure is built up to 120 psi, we're back up to 120 psi. Now we're going to perform the fan down, the apply braking first. And the way you do the apply braking, we're gonna turn the ignition off. By key on, we're going to do the apply braking.
Go ahead.
You put your foot on the brake pedal. After the initial loss, you shouldn't lose no more than 4 psi per minute. I didn't lose no more than 4 psi per minute. And at this time, I would ask the inspector, my foot is on the brake. Would you like to check my brake light? Whether he say yes or no, that's something that we don't know. Now we are going
At this point, is it in lower gear or what gear is it in? Right here.
At this time,
What should it be?
we are neutral.
Okay.
Because we have to let it roll against the chuck.
Okay.
We are neutral. Okay.
Right.
So now we're going to perform the lower service light fan down. And that should come on between 60 and 80 psi. You get the light.
Blinking, yeah.
The light came on at 80, close to 80 psi.
Okay.
And now we're going to fan down for our maxis to come out. The maxis should come out between 20 and 45 psi. So as we fan down,
You know what gets me? All these freaking switches on these trucks. I'm so afraid of all these freaking switches.
the maxi popped out at 28 psi. So now at this point, we are going to rebuild air pressure back to 120. And while you're building air pressure back to 120, you can ask the inspector, can you start your in-cab inspection? So if he said, yeah, go ahead and start your in-cab inspection, you will start with your headboard. Over here, you're going to tell him it's secure. My visors are secure. My windshield is clear and free of cracks. You're going to talk about your wipers. My wipers are secure. And my washer fluid is working. And there's no less than 50% in my fluid reservoir. You're going to tell them about your defroster. You're going to tell them my defroster is working. You're going to tell them my side mirrors are working. They're clear and free of cracks. My mirrors are clear, free of cracks, and are adjusted to me. And then at this time, you'll move on to your gauges. I'm going to tell them my oil pressure gauge at idle is 5 to 20 psi. And at 1200 RPM is 35 to 75. My coolant temp is at 180, should not exceed 220. And my battery voltage is at 14 volt. My tachometer and speedometer, we know they work when we perform the brake test. And our fuel gauge, we know it worked because when we turned the key on, it fluctuated from full and back to resting position. And the air pressure gauge, we know it's working because right now we are building pressure. So then we go to our steering wheel, shouldn't have no more than 2 inch of free play. Our clutch.
We should have mentioned that the truck just because to hear you better, we didn't run the truck to build up the pressure up to 120, exactly. Back to up to 120.
So we went from the steering wheel, shouldn't have no more than 2 inch of free play. A clutch stick shouldn't have no more than 2 inch of free play. We're going through all the gears. Nothing binding, nothing grinding. And we in reverse. We could ask the inspector, would you like to check out my reverse light? If he says no, then we leave it till we're on the course. Once we do that, we go to our safety features. We got our fire extinguisher is here to the left, it's secure. Filter capacity. Then we do our seat, it's secure and adjusted to us. Then we do our seat belt, has 3-point of contact. It has no cuts or frays. That's 1, 2, and 3. And then we talk about our city horn and highway horn. And then we talk about our deflective 3 deflective triangle. Talk about our paperwork current and up to date. Then we have fuse and extra spare light bulbs here. And then we go to our lights. Turn our lights on. Our right indicator is working, left indicator is working. Our high beam is on. Our high beam is on. Now, at this point, if your pressure is built up to 120, you will tell the inspector my pressure is built up to 120. This will conclude my brake and end cab inspection. I will now begin my under hood inspection. So, you gotta remember, your truck would be running at this time. So you gotta put it back on the lowest force gear. The maxes should already be popped up. Turn the key off and take the key with you. Then you exit 3-point of contact. Prior to starting, you will tell the inspector that truck oil, power steering fluid, and coolant was checked. Would you like for me to check them again? If he says no, then you continue. You will tell him my coolant reservoir is filled to capacity and it's secure. My wiring harness is secure, not cuts or frays. My air hoses are secure, not cracks or leaking. And then you can come over here and tell them about my light wire harness is secure. It's not corroding or frayed. And then you can go to your radiator. My radiator is secure, it's not cracked or leaking. Lower radiator hose is secure with the proper clamp. My fin shroud is secure, it's not broken. All my fin blades are present, none is broken. The fin is belt driven. The belt should have no more than 3/4 inch play. My AC compressor is secure. My governor is secure and it's not leaking. Air compressor, fuel injector, and power steering pumps, they're all secure, not leaking, and they're all gear driven. And then you could tell them about my power steering reservoir is filled to capacity. My frame has no cracks or illegal weld. My shock absorber is not cracked or leaking. My spring hanger shackles or U-bolts are secure. Nothing's missing, nothing's broken. My steering shaft shouldn't have no more than 1 inch of free play. My steering gearbox is secure, not broken or leaking. And the shaft has the proper U-joint and cap. My pitman arm, drag leg, and outer tire rod are secure with the proper castle nut and quarter pin. And then I go to my air hose and air canister is secure, not cracked or leaking. Slack adjuster shouldn't have no more than 1 inch of free play. If it does, you need a service technician to adjust them. Then you go to your brake lining, should be at 50%, no less, free of grease, dirt, and oil. The inside of my rim has no cracks or illegal weld. The inside of my tire wall has no cracks or deep abrasions. Top of my tires should be at 430 seconds, can be measured with a tire tread depth gauge. The outside tire wall has no crack or deep abrasions. My outside rim has no cracks or illegal weld. All my lug nuts are present, show no sign of rust, which indicate looseness. My hub seal is secure, filled to capacity. Valve stem has the proper cap. Tires at 120 psi can be better checked with a tire pressure gauge. So we move to the next side.
Your brother Dean's coming.
Yeah, watch your head. My airbox is secure. Air harness on this side is secure. My radiator on this side is secure. It's not cracked or leaking. Upper radiator hose is secure with the proper pin. I could talk about my turbo cooling line. It's secure. Turbo's too hot to touch. Turbo's too hot to touch. My alternator is secure and it is belt driven. Should have no more than 3/4 inch of play. And beneath it is my water pump. It's secure and it's not leaking. My frame has no cracks in either well. My shock absorber is secure and it's not leaking. My spring hanger shackles and U-bolts are secure, nothing's missing. My hose and air canister is secure, it's not leaking. Slack adjuster shouldn't have no more than 1 inch of free play. If it does, we need a service technician to service it. Inside is my brake lining. Should be at 50%, no less, free of grease, dirt, and oil. My rim has no cracks or illegal weld. Inside of my tire wall has no crack or deep abrasion. Top of these tires at 4/32 can be checked with a tire tread depth gauge. Outside of my tire has no crack or deep abrasion. My outside rim has no cracks or illegal weld. All my lug nuts are present. Show no sign of rust. Rust indicate looseness. My hub seal is secure. It's filled to capacity. It's not leaking. The valve stem is present with the proper cap. Tires at 120 psi can be better checked with a tire pressure gauge. So this concludes my under hood inspection. I will now perform my pre-trip inspection. So we go to the front. Are you gonna check whose truck it
Whose
is?
truck is this?
My truck, sir.
Okay. Whose clearance lights are there?
My clearance light, sir.
And whose window is that?
Mine. Hey, what happened to the left indicators?
Always like to hear you do the full metal jacket. Not yet.
You gotta restart.
I did. Oh, yeah, it's on. Is it on? No. You gotta put your clearance lights on.
Again.
You're good. You're working.
What time is the test provided? What time is the testing on Friday?
You got the make sure I have all your papers.
All right, so we're now going to check the head off.
Hey, you shut him up. Clearance lights on. Shoes on, then your socks.
He just made it.
His big ass in there. Anyways, I seen you take a picture of his big
Yeah,
ass.
he
How'd you get that in
took
there?
a video.
18 minutes. Unlike me, hour and 18 minutes.
Well, that's all right. 18 minutes?
Yeah,
You got to do it over and do it perfect.
you were quick.
Let's do it perfect this
Truck is in
time.
line with the
Oh, I
truck.
think
Not
it's
hanging
been
side to
perfect.
side. Nothing's dragging, leaking, or hanging from under the truck. I shouldn't have my lights on, should I? Turn them off.